Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. I hope you are all well and that, as always, you are progressing in your life with peace, happiness, and success. Welcome to our platform, where we present the latest developments, deep analyses, and intriguing details of historical series. Before starting the video, I want to ask you a very simple yet important and thought-provoking question. Who do you think Orhan Bey's eagle symbol will be given to? Flavius? Fatima? Or is it being saved for an unborn heir? Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments, because sometimes such small details can completely change the direction of the story. Dear viewers, today we will analyze the latest episode of Kuruluş Orhan in a detailed yet simple manner. At the same time, we will evaluate what awaits us in the upcoming episodes in light of historical facts. First of all, looking at the general atmosphere, we can clearly see that after the conquest of Bursa, the tone of the series has completely changed. Now, we are not just watching the life of a nomadic tribe, but a structured state being established. This change is extremely important, not only in the series but also historically, because this period is a critical time when Orhan Gazi transformed the Ottoman state from a small principality into a strong and systematic empire. One of the most striking scenes in this episode was undoubtedly the confrontation between Orhan Bey and Shahin Shah. This was not just a meeting but a clash of two different powers and two different visions. Shahin Shah is no longer an ordinary enemy. In the series, we see him as a powerful and dangerous rival who will continue for a long time. From a historical perspective, during the rise of the Ottoman Empire, many principalities and powers opposed it. However, most of them could not withstand the Ottomans not only because of their strength, but also because of their strategy and alliances. Now let's move on to the most emotional and critical part of the episode, Asborsa Hatun. In this episode, we witnessed a significant transformation in her character. Her approaching the Ottoman side is not just a personal choice, but also a sign of a major political move. Throughout history, royal marriages have played an important role in establishing strong alliances. Therefore, Asborsa Hatun's story could lay the foundation for a major alliance in the upcoming episodes. Looking at Orhan Bey's character, we see a clear development in this episode, especially after his brother Alaeddin's injury. His emotional reactions were more realistic and impactful. This was an element whose absence was felt before. However, In some scenes, the emotional depth could have been even stronger. Historically, Orhan Gazi was not only a warrior, he was also a great statesman. He is known as the leader who established the Ottoman Empire's first regular army. Therefore, the small unit shown in the series may not fully reflect the historical reality, because at that time the Ottoman army was rapidly growing and gaining strength. Now, let's move on to a very interesting character, Flavius. His story is portrayed in the series in a deep and striking manner. Flavius's past, identity, and future seem to symbolize a major transformation. Throughout history, many foreign warriors who joined the Ottomans eventually embraced Islam and became important figures in the state. In the series, Flavius being associated with the name Jesus also symbolizes this spiritual transformation. The conquest of Karakahizar fortress scene seems a bit rushed. Historically, this fortress was quite significant and was conquered after long struggles. Therefore, presenting this scene in more detail could have been more impressive for viewers. Now, let's come to the most important and intriguing topic. Orhan Bey's eagle symbol. This is not just an ornament. In Turkish and Seljuk history, the eagle has been a symbol of power, sovereignty, and the state. Especially the double-headed eagle represents dominion over both the East and the West. This shows that it is not just a symbol but a sign of a grand vision. Therefore, who this symbol will be given to carries great significance. Will it be given to an ally? Will it become a symbol of an alliance? Or is it being reserved for a future great heir? Looking ahead to the next episodes, important developments await us. First, Asporsa Hatun's chances of survival seem quite high, because her story is not yet complete. Second, the struggle between Orhan Bey and Shahin Shah will intensify and remain at the center of the story. Third, with the introduction of new Byzantine characters, intrigue and political games will increase. And most importantly, we will begin to observe the Ottoman state structure more clearly and powerfully. Another notable deficiency is the lack of spiritual characters in the series. In previous seasons, dervishes and scholars added depth to the story. Because the Ottoman Empire grew not